exclusive YouTube video. It's been a while, and I just want to say thank you for watching. Well, today we're going to talk about the gifts of the Spirit. So the greatest gift that God could have given us is His Son, Jesus Christ. And the greatest gift that Jesus could have given us is the Holy Spirit. However, the greatest gift that the Holy Spirit could have given us are the gifts of the Spirit. And so we're going to take a look at 1 Corinthians 12, reading from 4 to 11.
There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. Now to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one there is given, through the Spirit of a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by that one Spirit, to another miraculous powers, to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits, to another speaking in different kinds of tongues, and we'll be looking at this today, and to still another the interpretation of tongues. We'll also be looking into this. All these are the work of one and the same Spirit, and He distributes them to each one, just as He determines. The word of the Lord.
These gifts fall under three categories. We have the power gift, we have the vocal gifts, and we have the revelation gifts. Today we're going to take a look at the vocal gifts. Under the vocal gifts, we have the gift of tongues, we have the interpretation of tongues, and we have prophesying.
Definitely.
So, looking at tongues, the gift of tongues, as you were saying earlier, that we have, we're going to discuss two types of tongues, other tongues and unknown tongues.
And unknown tongue. This is a heavenly language. It is used to communicate with God. So these can be used when you're praying, like it comes out, it manifests when you're praying, and this is also called the prayer language, right? Now, Karen, what's the other one?
And the other one is, so you just talked about the unknown tongues.
Right.
And with the unknown tongues, just to add on that, is that it is not fruitful to our natural minds.
Right.
So when we speak in an unknown tongues, this is really edifying it's and it's also building us too. Well, it's a good thing to have a prayer language because it builds us. And for me, I like using it in my little devotion.
Right.
That's when I like using it because it's not really edifying to anybody, even though I do use it at church.
I don't understand what you're saying. You know, this is just you.
It's a personalizing
thing. You know, getting closer to God and just basically pouring out.
Yeah, and okay, you know what I like about this too. Whenever I don't have words to say, I use my prayer language. Also, this is good because you're actually praying God's will. It's not fruitful to you, so you're not really understanding. And sometimes I really don't know what to pray. And the best thing when you are short of words, you pray the prayer language until God take you into a new dimension.
But the Bible does tell you, you know, the Holy Spirit, it basically leads you in terms of what to pray when intercession takes place.
And that's a good point. I'm happy that you mentioned that, because when you're interceding, you don't know what to pray for, but the Holy Spirit leads you into what to pray for. And people who are intercessors, they need that prayer language because you don't want to mix your feelings, your desires with God's. So no, when you use that prayer language, you're actually praying God's will into the earth.
Right.
So that's it for the unknown tongues. Now we have other tongues.
Right.
And with other tongues, the greatest distinction for this one is that it's edifying the church.
The church.
Right.
You get edified, you know, persons in the region of your voice, when
Yeah.
they're not there in the church.
Right.
They too get edified, because whatever is being said through the Spirit, it's once it's explained to the hearers, then they can understand, and not just understand, they're able to apply whatever it is the Holy Spirit wants them to do.
Right. I like what you said, that they are able to apply it, because this one, the other tongues, it is prophetic. It is prophetic in nature. And so when somebody is talking in other tongues, there must be an interpreter.
An interpreter. Yeah.
The person who is actually speaking can be the interpreter. Also, anybody else could be the interpreter.
Yeah, because the Holy Spirit can use anyone in the audience.
Yes.
It could be the pastor or
Anybody.
the bishop,
Yeah.
just anyone there.
Yeah. Because, the thing is that the Holy Spirit is in us. We have the fullness of the Godhead in us. So anybody could be operating in the gift of interpretation. It's not confined to anybody, not
special.
anybody special.
Right.
So anybody could be interpreting. And for the interpretation, there should be a distinction between interpretation and translation. It has nothing to do with translation.
Right.
So this person will have to be able to summarize what God is saying, the invisible language of God, into intellectual speech that we can understand.
And they can't do it by themselves.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit will have to empower them. And so we have prophecy. So now we're going to talk about prophesying. So for prophecy, it is the supernatural ability to interpret the deeds, the actions, the emotions, everything that God. So it's really going into the council of heaven, and God is sharing His mind with you. Yes, so that is amazing. Like,
amazing
my mind is blown whenever I think about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a different kind of connection
Mm-hmm.
that we're sharing with God.
Yes.
Whenever that gift manifests itself.
Yeah, it's like the heaven just open up and God is just downloading His
Into
mind
your spirit.
into your spirit.
Right.
And so with prophesying, that's basically it with prophesying. But there, I want to make a point that is very important tonight, or whichever time you're watching this. I want to make a point that is very important with prophesying. When you're prophesying, it doesn't mean that you're a prophet, because there should be a clear distinction of the office of the prophet and just the gift of the gift of prophesying. So somebody, not because you're prophesying, that doesn't make you a prophet.
Automatically make you a prophet.
But, yeah, because
And Karine, as you mentioned that, I think we should do another piece on this.
yeah, this is a good topic to even discuss in full, because what some people don't know is that there are other characteristics
associated
with
being
a prophet, right? So and then people sometimes misunderstand this, like just because you're prophesying, they are a prophet. Some people even call themselves prophets.
Without being, oh wow, this is very, very
interesting.
intriguing.
Yes, it's interesting that people call themselves prophets when really they're not prophets. They're just operating in the gift, but not in the office. So we'll discuss that at a later date. And stay tuned for another series of the gifts of the Spirit. Stay tuned for the next series, because we're going to talk about the power gift and the revelation gifts. And so thank you for watching.